Mwangi, I'm sure, based on the article that you wrote not very long time ago, and listening to your fellow panelist, Mr. Ambassador, I think that you have a lot to agree with what he said.
Actually, you know, he is in government, but I have to say that he's saying the right thing. He's not just being you know, a mouthpiece, but I think he's saying the right thing. I have said that the progress, I would say it's a work in progress. And if you think about coalition governments, first of all, they don't make hard decisions. That's one of the things that you find in coalition governments. The Kenyan government from 2008 to now, there's very major progress, as the ambassador has said. The constitution is one thing that came out of that process. We have seen the reforms in the judiciary. There is one thing that I think in your introductory remarks, the video that you said that there has been nothing done about the police force. I think there has been also progress in the reform with the police force. So overall, I would say that has been very good progress. But there are still issues. I think we have issues related to the IDPs. We haven't really seen major progress there. Long-term solutions, which is related to the Agenda 4 of that accord. Those ones we are still lagging behind. I also think that in terms of major issues like land reforms, dealing with the issue of inequalities. Remember, a lot of the things that we see in conflict are not really just the political issues. There are underlying causes for those conflicts. We haven't done much about inequality. And Kenya, I would say that the biggest problem we still have is the issue of regional inequalities and other disparities that we see. And as a society, no matter what type of a constitution we have, we are not going to move ahead until we solve the inequalities issue.
The gap between rich and poor?
The gap between the rich and poor, access, I call them access to land. Well, land is one of them, but there are also big issues about inequalities at the regional level, at the individual level. You know, there are big issues. Unfortunately, we don't.
Do you think it's still a major issue?
Well, yeah. I think if you ambassador can say me. Yeah. But I think the fact that there are wide, what we call horizontal inequalities.
You talk about reforms in the police. The jury is really still out. And as a matter of fact, yesterday's public opinion poll, when it talks about corruption, the police is right at the bottom, not to mention that the media itself, my own tribe, the media, actually ranks last in terms of how it is perceived in terms of tackling corruption. But what about this very important, of course, reform, which is, of course, the new constitution? Is it really the political panacea for Kenya? Is it a really game changer?
Okay, now, I have different opinions about the constitution. First of all, I think it's a very good instrument, but there is a difference between a constitution and constitutionalism. Those are two wildly different issues.
What is the difference?
Well, the constitution is a written piece of paper. Constitutionalism is actually embodying the idea of the rule of law and making sure that whatever we do is what guides us. I don't think we have reached there. I mean, and there are many examples that we can tell. But I also have a problem, and the ambassador may disagree with me, because he said it's a very good constitution. It's a very good constitution, but it's a very complicated constitution. We have devolved structures that I think we need to be very careful about that. And I've been looking at that, and I still am worried about really our capacity in many areas.
For example, are you talking about the devolution of power to the county?
Devolution of power is good. It is the management at the county level that worries me.